Good evening, Rocket League fans. Welcome to Minor League Doubles.
There's still a big chance here for anyone to take this in regulation, and this is
No!
10 seconds are gone in the ball.
With both members of Orange out of net right now, towards the net. This is a need. Numerics puts it in. This game's not over yet.
Bring out your predictions. Bring out your scores. Let's see where we go. Game 7. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. Fridge in position. Scores.
Just an insane series.
I just typed the chat. I can feel my heart beat right now. It's so tense.
What a series.
We have 2 spots left to fill in the conference championships, 1 per conference. Welcome everybody to Showdown Sunday on the MLE Network. Into the broadcast booth with us, I am Curtis. That is Inanimate J. We have, to start things out, a very, very good matchup, or what appears to be, between the Arctic Division champion, the Foxes, and the Storm Division champion, the Spartans.
Yeah, both these teams coming through as division champions, neither one of them having to play the wild card match to get into the playoff picture here. The Spartans going with an interesting roster tonight, pretty much what we expected, however. It'll be Feisig and Swanky Bubbles in to start it for the Spartans, Stumpinator and Vex on the other side for the Foxes. So I have to say both teams probably brought their best roster tonight. It's a best of 7. Yeah. 4 wins separating them from a date with the Ducks, who pretty much walked through the Sharks on Friday night. The Sharks, for all their fight that they had in that wild card game against the Jets, I just think that took a little bit too much out of them.
I would tend to agree. They had to come back to do it to force the Game 7 to be able to get through that Game 7, what was an absolute classic wildcard weekend. They really just kind of laid down and rolled over for the Ducks, unfortunately, but not for lack of effort. They definitely tried. The Ducks are a very, very powerful team in that division, though. So it's something that we didn't really not expect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was expected. It was, I think, disappointing for Sharks fans, though, because they had that ability to come through a really tough Jets team, which finished second to the Ducks in the Sky Division. That's not an easy division to inhabit with the Ducks in there, but no kidding. It was just one of those things where it felt like they expended so much out of the tank, and a week wasn't long enough to recover on that one. But look at the other half of the other half of the playoff picture too. The Dodgers and the Rhinos in a classic to see who goes on to face the Flames for the Orange Conference title. That one coming up after this best of 7. I'm excited to get into it, but we've got the teams in here, Curtis. Quick look, though, at the fantasy predictions for this one. Spartans, very heavy favorites, 33 brackets, 29 of them picking the Spartans to advance. And the other side for the Rhinos and the Dodgers, very even split, only 19 of 33 picking the Dodgers. So about a 55-45 split there.
Don't sleep on the Foxes, though, in this first series. And this
Absolutely
is a team that can definitely get things done, and we very well should see a very competitive best-of-7 series. We are ready to go, though. Best of 7. For a spot in the conference championship, we have Spartans and Foxes. It's going to be on your screen shortly. DFH Stadium is the site, as we are ready for playoff week number 2 to finally come to its bone-clenching wrist it's going to come to an end, and it's going to be really, really nice. I was trying to find something, and it was gone. So either way, we're ready to go. Hope you guys are ready as well. Foxes and Spartans are underway. This is going to be up off the ceiling. Into the Foxes' end, immediately sent towards net. Vex is going to get in front of it. Stumpinator camping near the goal line. He's going to have to make a play off the goal line, coming in off the back with a shot, and that's going to go wide of the right post. Spartans needing to make a play in their own side. Vex is going to fly by the ball and miss. He'll set it up for Stump. Tries a little bit of a mind game. Now he's got to play some defense. Dangerous spot. Vex going to put it off of his own backboard. Dangerous place to put that. It's in the upper 90. Swanky Bubbles makes him pay. It's 1-0.
If you're going to put it up off your backboard, it has to be hard away from that one. I think Vex might have just panicked a little bit on that one. Stump had a good line. Would have put that in the corner, but instead Vex re-centers that, and Swanky straight forward, driving right through that one and in. 30 seconds gone. The Spartans strike first.
Swanky Bubbles and Vex Feisig and Vex going for the kickoff on each side there. Trying to get the second goal of the game is Stumpinator, and he will tie the game at 1 apiece.
6 seconds in, Vex wins this one really well, high into the corner, takes a little bit of a good bounce off that baseboard, little hop, just enough to freeze Feisig in net, and Stumpinator lifts it over him, tie game, back on level terms, it's 1-1.
So don't let that dude, don't let the key player to watch in this game for me on the Spartans, it's Swanky Bubbles. When he gets going, he is hard to stop. No doubt about that. We'll see how long it takes him to get going. Stumpinator on the other side is going to be my player to watch. Would you agree with that, or do you have somebody else in mind?
I definitely agree with both of your picks on that. It's been a Stumpinator show for a lot of the season. When he's on fire, he's really firing on all cylinders, putting the team on his back. But conversely, when he struggles a little bit, the team really falls off in their play. And on the other side, Swanky Bubbles, if he pops off, look for some really amazing things to happen.
Oh, that's going to creep towards the goal line. He gets away. Vex is going to knock this back towards half, taking it into the offensive corner. And that is left there for Swanky Bubbles to take possession. Tries to work around Vex. He does for the moment. Dribble play into the middle as Stumpinator is going to contest at the sidewall. Vex is in his corner wall. Sends it long crossways. 1:37 into game number 1. Swanky Bubbles going to put this on frame. Probably would have done a little bit better getting a height on that shot, but instead it'll be a pretty easy save for the Foxes to take care of. We are 3:09 left, 3:07 actually. Still 1 apiece. This will be Swanky Bubbles going towards the side. Going to try to force the issue in the corner. He'll retreat back. Let Stumpinator take control for the moment. Really good read from Stumpinator. This is going to roll around the wall. And another clear needed. Spartans doing a good job clearing their back lines. We are into a defensive stalemate in this game 1 at the moment.
That big demo by Vex there might just be enough to get them set up here. Feisig, though, spawning far side, has enough time as Stump just lofting that too far across goal there. Yeah, once those first 2 goals went in inside that first minute, it's just really settled down. Both these teams starting to rotate really well. Till that.
Towards the halfway line. Swanky Bubbles going to knock this ahead. He's got a one-on-one, but Stumpinator is going to attack out of the corner. Takes control. Tries to dribble around his counterpart there. This will be Swanky Bubbles trying for a save, but Vex is going to get it up and above him. It goes bar down. It's 2-1 Foxes.
Feisig, unfortunately, too much side on that challenge there. Just dies, and Vex lofting Swanky. Kind of caught him off guard, went bar down. Thought he might have needed the double touch, but it rolls over the line. And instead, the Foxes find themselves 2 to the good. They're up by 1.
Just past halftime in game 1. Trying to find a winner. This will be sent towards that Fox's net. Right in front is Feisig. He cannot put it home. It'll go back towards the sidewall where Stumpinator will try to win the 1v2. Vex around the corner wall. Red into the middle by Swanky. Back up the side is Stumpinator. Stumpinator going to try a carry here towards the net. It's off the crossbar, off of Swanky Bubbles. Vex comes in to try to slam it home, but he'll put it off the back wall, and in comes the Spartans. Stumpinator puts it up and around Swanky. Good defensive rotation in as Feisig realizes what's going on. He's going to read all the way back into his own side for the moment. Vex puts it on frame, over around one and over another. Vex gets the goal. It's 3-1 Foxes.
This is a miscommunication between the Spartans here. Feisig's coming around for that one, but Swanky rotates in front of him and then backflips, trying to go up for that ball. Feisig pointing right back towards his net, trusting his teammate to make the play, and he does not. Now they find themselves down by 2 with 90 seconds on the clock.
90 seconds indeed. We are trying to separate our teams right now. The Foxes have the commanding 3-1 advantage in game 1. Stumpinator gonna end up actually getting that taken away by Vex. He's gonna have to win a challenge at the midfield. He's got an empty net to shoot on, might be able to ice the game, and he will make it a 3-goal lead at least with 1:12 to go.
The Foxes just have to keep this one under control. Both of the Spartans well upfield after that last challenge, I believe, by Swanky Bubbles at midfield there. Stumpinator, no opposition in net to have to pressure him on that one. 4-1 here. Stranger things happen, Curtis, but I think that might just about do it.
Yeah, 72 seconds to go. Foxes are making the Spartans kind of run all over the place at the moment. A little bit rushed on their decision making, and they're making very poor decisions because of it. Stumpinator gets bumped, but this ball will stay in the Foxes' end for the moment. Towards that net, far side, it's Feisig. Makes it a 2-goal lead.
Oh, really good aggression here from Swanky Bubbles. Gets into the back there, actually gets demoed there, but Feisig just able to continue bumping around, bullying everybody off that ball, able to get that one over the goal line. 2 goals in 54 seconds. That's doable. They have to win this one kickoff here and then hope that they buy themselves enough time to look for the equalizer.
This is going to pop around the corner. Swanky puts it into the middle. Feisig there, trying to put it to a 1-goal deficit. He can't do it. Still there for Swanky. He can't finish it. Feisig is going to make persistence pay off. 41 seconds left. This is very doable.
Very aggressive pressure out of the Spartans here, just throwing it all up over the place here. Apparently, Stumpinator actually suffering some disconnecting symbols on his end here. We'll take a look at that and get a remake here. Swanky actually complaining as well. So we'll remake the server after this one goes, but definitely getting to a point here where it is turning into a pretty classic game. But yeah, the Spartans doing well to pull this one back.
Yeah, taking a look at about a 150 ping is what Swanky Bubbles is fighting right now. 26 seconds left, 4-3. Spartans really trying to do what they can, but a good challenge by Vex is going to remove that from their possession. Fox is trying to put one more in. 13 seconds on the clock. This will go around that corner, getting one off the nose. That's a pass ahead to Feisig. Swanky's going to have to chase it down, though. Putting it off the sidewall is Vex, and towards the far post. He goes off of that. Spartans are going to need to keep it in the air if they have a chance, but a good kill by Vex will knock that away, and the Foxes take game number 1. A final count, 4-3.
Yeah, really good game, though. The Spartans just got a little bit away from them in the early going there as the Foxes stretched that lead out just enough to be insurmountable. But I got to give credit to the Spartans. They kept fighting, and they had the balance of offense. 8 shots, and a couple of goals to show for it there. But it's tough too when we're gonna remake here.
Okay. Yeah,
it's
when the Spartans, there was a few opportunities where they had a chance. They just could not quite get the last waning touch that got it past the Foxes players. And that was really, it seemed like they were a little bit rushed in their decision making about halfway through that game. They let in a couple in a row on saves they more or less think they probably should have had, got tilted from it, and just couldn't catch up.
Yeah, at the same time, though, they just kind of got into a little bit of a spot where they overcommitted on a couple of plays. And, that happens in twos. It's a thing that occasionally will come down to just decision-making in that. But part of it, I don't know if it's rush, if it's tilt, or if it's just generally what we see in MLD. We know that the decision-making is probably one of the biggest things that players need to improve to work towards graduating from the league. And you'll see these mistakes and you'll see them go away as more time goes on.
Yeah, that's part of the development of this league, and I gotta give a little bit of a shout out to the entire league just for the parity that we saw throughout, because there have been competitive teams all over the place. One of the closest playoff races in recent memory for MLD as far as the division races, the wild card races, is a lot of fun to watch. But it's a testament to how close these players really are in skill, and made things really entertaining down the stretch.
Yeah, a lot of really good, meaningful matches down the last couple of weeks of the regular season. And honestly, 2 really, really good wildcard series as well to kick the playoffs off. So you're at a point now where the only team in the room that's really a boogeyman, I think, is the Ducks. And it's just because they figured out 2v2 in this environment with the way the league is set up and have played to their strengths constantly through that whole sequence. So once a team figures them out, and once a team really starts to put pressure on them and make them play a different game other than the Ducks game, I think you'll see a big shift in the parity of the league away from that one dominant team. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're looking at these players in right now. We're going to see if we can get them in and if they're ready to go. Is everybody in here?
Everybody in. I got 4 players.
Right. Cool. Let's go. Game 2. Going to be on your screen momentarily. Foxes have a 1-0 lead in the series after a 4-3 win in Game 1. Spartans going to look to get a better start than they had in Game 1 and maybe can get a couple on the board early against this Foxes defense. But we are ready to go. Storm Division winners, Arctic Division winners. We are in Game 2 of a best-of-7 spot in the Conference Championship. At stake, this will get up and around 1. Swanky towards the sidewall, trying to play it as Feisig. Swanky has a ton of room. and he's going to take a boomer downfield off the crossbar, and Vex is up to make contact. We'll send it towards the sidewall, not let it bounce straight off. Vex out to midfield. Putting it up in the air is Feisig. Stumpinator knocks it out of the corner, taking a look and a chance is Swanky Bubbles. He will go by the ball. Feisig loses that challenge, sets it up for Vex. It goes off the post and away. Feels bad as Vex beans it off that left iron.
Can't miss those, and unfortunately he did put it well wide on the cut, right across goal there. Had so much space to work with and a lot more time than I think he thought he did. Unfortunately, the Fox is not able to convert that early chance.
Towards the halfway line. Off the back, gonna pop in front. This will go off the corner wall. Around that corner, gonna try to get this away from his own goal line, and Swanky Ball is gonna force the issue and slam it home. 1-0 lead as the Spartans strike first.
You see where both Foxes are on this play? In their corner, facing back towards their goal. They try desperately to block that ball, but they're in such an awkward spot to try and defend. And Swanky just waits for that to roll into the frame of goal and taps it over the line as they just get completely turned inside out by that play.
Minute 15 left in game number 2. Or I'm sorry, actually through game number 2 as we have a 1-0 lead for the Spartans. Good booming play. Fooled Stumpinator. Swanky Bubbles going to give chase. Put it around that corner wall. Going to go in front. Chance at the far side. It's Feisig making it a 2-0 lead.
Good read by Feisig here. Aggressive grab at the midfield line here. Swanky just wins that ball across to Vex, who kind of puts it awkwardly across the face of goal with his first touch. Feisig just dunks it across on that one. Finishes the job. 2-0 now for the Spartans here.
90 seconds in, this is going to be a challenge or a kickoff that goes directly the way of the Foxes. It'll be back the other way for Feisig. Feisig in a one-on-one play, going to go off the back wall. Vex is going to knock this off the top of his car. Swanky Bubbles is going to give chase, going backwards. Vex is going to easily get by him. Tried for the far side, but it goes up against Feisig, who's going to keep it away from the goal line. We're 2 minutes in. It remains a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, Vex saying in chat, Stump's lagging again. You can just see it with the way he's playing. He's reacting really late to the ball as it goes through. Yep. So Vex kind of playing a 1v2 here. We've already reset the server and was fine when he loaded in. So at this point, you have to figure it's his ISP. Either that or the servers are going completely, completely belly up at this point. But, there's not a lot more.
Everybody else's ping seems good. He's floating between orange and red right at the moment. So it's got to be... So at this point, it might be something on his end.
I blame Rogers Communications because they suck.
This is going to be up off of the crossbar. Towards the sidewall is Swanky Bubbles. Swanky going to try to do something here. He's going to flip into it. It goes off the back. Feisig lurking. It's still a chance in front. He will fly by the ball. Might have to pass it out to his teammate. He will. It's going to be off the crossbar. 2-0 at the moment. Nearly was 3, but the opportunity goes by.
Stump's starting to move a little bit better, though, but he is definitely reacting to things that aren't happening. You just see on board with him right there, just can't really read the ball at all, though. Feisig just has to tap that one forward. It's really difficult when you're playing like this, but honestly, when you've got that kind of internet problem, it's just the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and it feels really, really bad for Stumpinator as he is fighting it right now. He is, you can tell he's lagging. He can't even move in a good general direction. His ping seems to have stabilized, but he's not able to do anything with the ball.
Yeah, it could just be packet loss somewhere along the line as well with the networking, even with regular ping. And we saw way back in the early days of launch when you'd have like 30 ping to a server, but you just disconnect because something on that machine somewhere along the lines is just completely dying.
Yeah, this will be a Spartans, looks like what could be a rout. Nothing that Stumpy can do, nothing that Vex can do. 5-0, and this could get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, and Vex asking if they're willing to just let the time run down on this one here. And, I wouldn't blame them if they did, but at the same time, at this point, it's like, what do? You know your teammates got the internet just dying on you. It looks like he's at least reacting well. We'll just jump on board with him real quick to see, but he's just kind of chilling out there. Yeah, I think he's still going through. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to see if he can get himself reset, maybe hit the router or tether to your phone at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, get something so you can actually do something. It's not a pretty sequence right now for Stumpinator, and it's unfortunate that it comes down to this, but it is what it is. Then this series not by any stretch out of reach.
No, it's just a best of 5 at this point. And
yeah,
the Foxes did do enough to win game 1, and then that's when things set in. So essentially just reduced to a best of 5 now to decide this playoff series. And there's worse things that could happen, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a fair point. This will be a minute left. Just a quick look at the stats as we see. 2 and 3. Swanky Bubbles 2 goals. Feisig with a hat trick at the moment. Not a ton on the defensive side for either squad. And
Stump looks like he's stabilized, though. Yeah, Stump looks like he's stabilized there. He's taken a couple shots, even though they are just kind of free-playing this one out there. But going up for aerials, they're starting to get the touchdown on the ball, so whatever's been ailing him seems to have leveled out for the moment here. So we'll just give them a quick talk between the games here as Stump to Vex to get one on the board. So we'll just get a read on the temperature from the players in between games here. This one very clearly a Spartans win to level out the series at 1-1.
Yeah, I think everything has settled down a little bit. Swanky's ping has always been up there as far as into the triple digits, but it isn't unplayable by any stretch. So no worries from him. 5-1, Spartan's going to take game 2. I think there's not a lot of doubt about that, as we are going to get into a game 3 and going to have a competitive series after all. And if everybody's on an even playing field, we could be in for that competitive series we were hoping for at the onset.
Absolutely, as long as there aren't any more internet issues creeping in here, because, you know, the worst, because a lot of the times you just can't figure out what's causing them. It's so much out of your control in an internet gaming era that, you know, the one thing that you want to make sure holds up, your internet, not always able to.
Good internet is a crutch, as Achieves would say.
I mean, according to Achieves, what isn't a crutch?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Gunners aren't a crutch. Spartans take the win 5-1, and they type the series at 1 apiece. As we get into game number 3 here fairly shortly, they're going to take all the time that they need to make sure all of their particular faculties are in order, including their internet connection, their eyes are still in their head, their hands still attached to their wrists, things of that nature. So we will get this series back underway here very shortly. But from what we saw, really only the one game on a more or less even playing field, and the Spartans they just got off to a good start. I'm not sure if the connection issues really started thwarting the Fox's attempts at anything right at the onset, or if it happened about midway. But if that's the case, if it happened about midway, the Spartans had their number very early in that game.
Yeah, it seemed like they adjusted just a little bit between games there, and, you know, for what it's worth, I think by about the second goal, I think, is when that really set in for the Foxes there. But you know, otherwise speaking, I think you're right. A lot of that was the internet issues. Was probably going to be a better game otherwise. Even being down 2-0 probably would have been okay to come back had you been playing it without, you know, consistent lag. But everything should be fine. Everybody's joined in. We're staying on the server, so here we go.
Yep, and it looks like everyone's pings have straightened out too, so we should have a competitive game 3, at least we certainly hope so. And we are underway again as each of these teams tries to find an advantage. An immediate shot off the post. There is Stumpinator, and he's able to get that one home. 1-0 lead for the Foxes.
Vex really makes this one work here. Tries to cut it down at the near post, but it goes off the side. Enough to get Swanky Bubbles to bite on that one, and Feisig trying to catch up. Can't quite cut down that near side post, and Stump just bullies it past. Early goal here for the Foxes. They get themselves up 6 seconds in.
Yeah, 6 seconds in. Very quick strike for the Foxes, one they needed for momentum's sake. Up off of the corner wall. Incoming Feisig. Off the ceiling. Down for Stumpinator. Stumpinator bounces it out of the corner. He's going to try to get one more touch and cut the angle, but it'll be taken away by Swanky Bubbles. Swanky Bubbles trying to win the challenge for possession. This will be up in front of the Fox's net. Stumpinator with the clear away. And Feisig going to bounce it laterally. Not the best place to put that, but Vex can't handle the hot ball off the wall. And he'll put it back to the center. Feisig towards net, into the left side. Very good looking shot from half. It'll be 1-1.
Dangerous place by Vex here. He plays the ball right into the center. Doesn't have boost to come out to challenge it. Feisig just picks it off, puts it right up over into the net as Stump right in line with his teammate on that one. It was looking for a pass, but just not enough power, not enough recovery to try and keep the challenge on. Feisig makes him pay.
Going side to side, it'll bounce off. Chance into the Fox's net, but Vex comes across, makes a nice save. Now we'll take possession. As a one-on-one play, flicks over one. That's towards the goal line. It's Vex, and a very good bounce is going to put that one home.
Let's ride along with Feisig on this one here. He actually gets bumped by Vex after the play. Almost has the ability to recover and clear it away. He got a touch, but not enough to keep it off the line. It's a good play by Vex to score that goal, but Feisig, man, almost had a highlight reel save.
Very, very close. We are a minute in. This will be out of the back wall. Stumpinator towards the center line. Coming in is Feisig. He's going to work on taking that one away. He'll keep it in the Fox's end. Spartans down a goal in game 3. This will pop into the front. Stumpinator will take that one away, putting it off the top of his car and over and around Feisig is Stumpinator. Stumpinator is going to defer to Vex. Vex is going to put it around the corner into the front, but it's immediately cleared away by Swanky Bubbles. 2-1 lead. Foxes setting up offensively. Swanky Bubbles gets bumped into that ball. Feisig wins a challenge at the midfield. It's a 2v1 the other side. Swanky, and a good stop by Stumpinator to keep this one at a 2-1 lead for the Foxes.
One big save back the other way is Feisig just picking off that runaway by Stump there. Had a lot of space to take the shot, but it just a little bit too close to the onrushing defender. 3 minutes to go here. Still anybody's game, though the Foxes with advantage.
Just about 3 minutes left. As you mentioned, this will be up off the back wall. Coming out is Feisig. Around the corner. Bouncing it off of the sidewall. Stump puts this off the side again. Swanky can't hit it. Feisig going to get this long into the Fox's end. In come the Foxes. Again, looking to set up. It'll bounce in front of that turquoise blue goal line. Chance. And it's a save coming out from Swanky. He'll move it to the sidewall. Nice bounce towards the goal line, and a save coming across from Stumpinator. That is Swanky Bubbles who takes possession and gets it taken away immediately by Vex. Then Vex will work it around the other of the two Spartans. Stumpinator has a 1v2, tries a little ground dribble play, but it's taken away. It remains a 2-1 lead with 120 seconds to go.
Ooh, Feisig losing the handle on that breakout dribble. Ended up putting that straight back towards his goal on that diagonal channel. Vex almost getting the shot, but it goes wide. Spartans starting to run down the clock here, and they need to work with it to try and get themselves back in it. The amount of times that they're not playing offense, just losing that ball, not helping them out.
Chance for Swanky Bubbles. He's been the offensive force for the Spartans team most of the season. He's going to try to make something happen here when his team needs it most in a playoff type scenario. This will be up over half. Looking near side. Shot taken. There's a save coming out. Vex is going to follow it up and keep it in the corner. It'll bounce in front for Stump, but a very good clear by Swanky. He's going to send that back to half where the Foxes can regroup. That's going to bounce in front, put towards the center. Vex has a clean shot on net, but he puts it well wide. That's an opportunity gone by to possibly ice this game. It remains a 1-goal lead, and that is still dangerous, as we've seen a number of 1-goal comebacks in these playoffs so far.
A lot closer game this one here, and it's kind of what game 1 looked like until the Foxes exploded out to that 3-goal lead that was ultimately enough to keep them there. As these teams go back and forth, not a lot of sustained pressure by either side. It's very back and forth as the teams get chance after chance, but it's one after the other either side of the field.
Seeing the ball been dominated in that Spartan zone, however, though, as this will get into the corner. Bumped out of the way by his own teammate. Swanky Bubbles will try to take possession. Stumpinator takes it away. This will be up the side ramp. It'll bounce in front. There is Swanky, but he cannot hit the angle. This will bounce around and above him. Good dribble play from Vex up the wall to take control. He will try to get it to the near post, and it goes well up and above the crossbar. Spartans need to get something going. They are in danger of going down 2-1 in this series. Flick into the middle. That's a shot incoming, but Feisig can't control it, and that is Swanky who cannot get it towards net. The Foxes are going to walk away with a Game 3 win and a 2-1 series lead.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for the Spartans on that one. Feisig just couldn't quite get the front nose of the car on that shot as Swanky lifted it up for him. And that's why that kind of just killed there. It died off the roof of the car, where you don't get a lot of momentum transfer from the velocity of your car into the ball to propel it forward there. A really close game. Kind of what we expected, though, out of the series.
Yeah, kind of what we expected, but the shots were not very high in the amounts. It was really just a battle for possession, but the battle for possession really centered around that Spartans defensive end, and the ball would not leave there for very long periods of time. Foxes, with a really good midfield presence, able to keep it in, really direct their play towards the net. Even though the Spartans were able to keep it away from being direct threats to them for most of the game, the Foxes found a way to be opportunistic at the right times.
Exactly. You have to capitalize on your chances, and that's exactly what you need to do in a playoff scenario. You need to make sure that when you have opportunities presented to you, that you take them, and you make sure that you score goals, because honestly, at the end of the day, you're only going to win a game of Rocket League by scoring goals, and that's my John Madden moment for the day, as my brain's analysis just goes right out the window.
You'll win the game if you put more goals in than the other team.
If you football harder than the other team, you will be successful at football.
And if you use tough acting to acting, you won't have athlete's foot anymore. That's about clear. 5 minutes on the clock, 300 seconds for those of you counting one by one. We are underway with Game 4 between the Foxes and the Spartans, as this one will go right in front of the Foxes net. Feisig has a first strike 9 seconds in.
Yeah, Stump, unfortunately, a little bit too hard getting that ball up there. Spikes off that intersection, goes well past. Vex kind of drifting in net there. He was complaining at the end of last game that he was seeing some teleportation, but we're not seeing that on our end. So again, people's internet just not holding up very well at the moment, as nobody else seems to be complaining about it.
Yeah, at least not at the moment. This will be a play in front. Swanky is going to get the good challenge towards the side. Back off the perimeter wall. Swanky will try the read. He's going to go off of the side, try to boost into this ball and bounce it into the front, but it will be taken away by the Foxes. 1-0 Spartans early, 30 seconds in. This will be back towards the halfway line. Stumpinator follows it in. Bounces it off the back. Feisig puts it off the top of his car, which is probably not where he wanted it, but he will make the best of the situation, as it will be sent aside by Vex in the Foxes zone. About a full minute in. Flying by the ball is Feisig. That's dangerous. Vex and Stumpy working 2-on-0 against an empty net until Feisig comes in, cape and all, and saves the day for the Spartans.
Really well defended by Feisig there. Just able to run down that play by the Foxes. It was a good demo too at midfield that set it up. Swanky got destroyed on the lead up to that play. Unfortunately for the Foxes offense, that won't matter. They're Stump able to get that one over the line.
And Stump with a good touch off of the back wall, or off the side wall anyway. Just has a little bit of a side flip into it, reads it well. He has ball cam off the entire time, so he's not relying on ball cam to help him angle. He is just going to fly at the ball and hope for the best off of the side, and does a very good job of it, getting good velocity. It remains where it goes to a 1-1 tie. 3:33 left. This will bounce in front of the Foxes end again, but Vex is going to get it up and above the Spartans' offensive players. Chancer Vex can try to do it again. It's up for Stumpinator. That's an empty net, and he needs much more velocity on that. It goes off the wheels instead, and it remains a 1-1 game.
Had to recover a little awkwardly there. Knew if he hit it the way he was going to originally with his jump, was going to drill that one well wide of the net. So just tried to air roll, got the nose on it, but instead catches it with the wheel well. Took way too much pace off the ball, and Feisig able to recover.
This is Vex. Vex up and over one, trying for the far post to get sent aside. Stump is up. He jumps way late at that ball. This will be up in front of the Foxes net. Trying to rain down on top of it is Feisig. He will. It's 2-1.
Well, Swanky almost had the recovery on this one here. Got launched way up in the air. You see him just at the top of your frame trying to drift down, but Feisig finishing that one off. He's first to the ball. The Foxes both beat after that challenge. Not able to catch up to that one. 2-1. The Spartans take the lead here in Game 4. They want to make this a best of 3.
Yeah, they absolutely do. 2-1 lead in the series for the Foxes, but the Spartans in good shape at the moment until there. Vex with the individual effort makes it a 2-all game.
Awkward clear from Feisig there. The first touch getting away from him. The second one able to be read by Vex as he just drives straight into that one, bouncing it off the corner at the right angle to go over the line. This game back tied at 2 here. Both these teams so evenly matched right now.
We are approaching halftime. Deuces Wild in game number 4. Each of these teams trying to, or actually the Spartans trying to make it a series tie at Deuces Wild. This will be off the corner. Stumpy's there, trying to get it towards the near post, but Vex is going to retreat away from it as he realizes he'd be beat to the ball. Grabbing the side booster, denying his counterpart that side boost. It'll go into the middle for Stumpinator, but he loses control. Trying a pinch and getting a pinch across the mouth of goal is Vex. And the Foxes can work it into the Spartan zone. This will be towards the post and away as the Spartans work to clear it away.
Oh, Swanky falling off of the wall as he tried to recover on that play and just catching that pass by Stump as he tried to put it in the corner here. Spartans a low boost at the moment there. You see Swanky on nothing and Feisig using the last of it to get up the boards to reach that ball here. They're going to be under a lot of pressure here as the Foxes start to bear down.
A little too much pressure. That's going to go towards the goal line, and right there is Stumpinator to slam it home. Minute 44 left. It's a 3-2 game.
And it just starts with the Spartans getting a little bit too close to the ball there. Feisig trying to bring it out, misses the first clear, and then Swanky coming right across, diving into the challenge, missing it entirely. The Foxes just go 1-2 score. 3-2 game now as they take the lead.
And it's a goal that the Spartans definitely wish they had back. But the Foxes putting on the pressure. This will be Vex putting it into the corner, forcing the issue, leaving his teammate Stumpy to his own devices. He'll rotate all the way back for boost. Stumpy loses the possession, battle 1v2. This will bounce off the ceiling. And dangerous positioning by Vex, but he'll live to tell about it. He was thinking about boosting off the back wall. Try to go for that. He decided against it. Vex does not get contact on the best part of this car there. This will be right in front and a takeaway as the Foxes get in front of that ball and send it deep into Spartan territory. Minute 4 to go. Looking towards the halfway line. Stumpinator is going to put that right at the Spartans, and that one's going to go all the way home from Swanky Bubbles in his own end.
And right on the money with that analysis on the call, Curtis. Just an awkward, uncontrolled clear by Stump. Got into the ball, didn't put it high. It just died there for Swanky to drive onto. Chipped it over top of him. Feels backflip trying to tip it away. 3-3 here as they find themselves on level terms with just under a minute to go.
Things getting pretty intense in a 3-3 game. Series lead on the line here. Vex is going to have to go backwards at this ball, but he lives to tell about this. This will get into the defensive corner. Spartans threatening. Still trying to get this one in front of the Foxes' net. Swanky Ball is going to try to read it on the sidewall. Successfully does so. Going to put it into the middle, looking for Feisig, but Vex is going to take that one well away. Vex gets it knocked over him. Swanky Bubble's going to give chase. He will try a one-on-one dribble play. Has some room to work with. The flick around one. Far side. It's on the goal line. Still there. It's right there, and a save coming out. And the Foxes live to tell about the tail of the goal line save. And with 13 seconds to go, we remain tied.
Feisig rushed his chance as it spilled away. No, wait!
There it is! Oh, it's right in front for Vex, and he puts it home! 5 seconds on the clock, and the Fox is likely going to take a 3-1 lead.
Feisig into the challenge, Swanky into the challenge, both of them around it, and Vex lofts that one in. 5 seconds left. That might put them up to elimination point against the Spartans.
Oh man, somebody's buttons are not working after the controller was thrown as hard as it was. You know that as well as I do. 4-3, the Foxes walk away with a Game 4 win. They have a chance to put the Spartans away in 5 upcoming.
Oh man, if the Spartans come back and watch that VOD, they'll know exactly what they did wrong on that goal line play. And it all came down to Feisig as he drifted towards it, just didn't quite give himself enough space because you know the Foxes are going to try and panic on that one. It's the first instinct when you see that ball in the line rolling around like that. All you want to do is get it anywhere but out in front of your net. When Feisig comes in, tries to win that one straight in, and that's where he gets caught because as the Foxes recover, they put it around him since he doesn't have the ability to read the play as he comes in on the rush.
We are down to a potential last 300 seconds of the Spartans season number 5. We will see if they have what it takes to get into a Game 6 and then potentially into a Game 7. But at this point, they need 3 straight wins to get into the conference championship game. If you are the Foxes, you have the advantage. You are trying to get a fast start in this game and really start to put the pressure on the Spartans getting in the last couple minutes.
Foxes 300 seconds and a couple of goals ahead of the Spartans away from winning their first playoff series in history. But That's not the start they wanted.
Yeah, that's a huge first goal. 4 seconds in for the Spartans. A really good ceiling read off of it just to get the ground pinch and put an absolute missile, a spherical missile towards that net. 1-0 as the Spartans get strike first.
Really good aggression on that play. These kickoff goals so important, especially when you win them. Oh, wow, what a mid-air demo by Stump. That sets the tone for the rest of this game.
Absolutely does. This will be off the sidewall. Going towards that Fox's net. Stumpinator is going to get that removed from his possession. It'll bounce in front for Swanky. Swanky off the nose towards the goal line. Stumpy makes a save. Still there for Feisig. Feisig and Swanky Bubbles trying to win the challenge. Stumpinator's got an empty net to shoot at, and coming all the way back to take it away is Feisig, and they will get it away from their back goal line.
Ooh, tough aggression there from Stump. He ends up missing the ball. Both the Foxes commit. And it was on target anyway. Swanky puts a little bit of style on that one. But that one came down to Stump just being a little bit too aggressive to that challenge. Came off the roof, didn't win it against Swanky Bubbles, who just put it right around him and then followed it up to finish the job. 2-0 Spartans as they get themselves out to an early lead. A lot of time left on the clock here.
48 seconds into this game, and the Spartans are right where they want to be. They cannot look in their rearview mirror. They just got to keep going ahead. Put as many in and distance yourself from the team that's trying to eliminate you from playoff contention. That is their goal. This is going to be Stumpinator. He's going to try to get this around Swanky Bubbles and will fail to do so for the moment. Coming in to help out is Vex. It's going to bounce towards the goal line. Very dangerous stuff, but Swanky is going to take it away and very close to getting this lead halved, but it remains a 2-0 lead.
Good patience by the Spartans there. Didn't really panic, though, after a couple of whiffs on their goal line. Really set them up for that dangerous moment. Just need to be able to keep this on lockdown there. The Foxes, we know they can score goals. We know they can generate offense. The Spartans just have to not be architects of their own demise here as they look to bring the series back within a game.
Feisig needs to be careful with this. This is going to be up his own back wall. Swanky misses, and Vex does not. Far side, it's in, and this lead is halved at 1.
That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Comes off the baseboard. Both of them drift to the near post. Watching that ball, nobody gives themselves space to react to when that ball hits the baseboard and goes up and over. Just drifts over top of the defense, and Vex puts that in. Lead cut down to 1.
140 into this contest. This will be up and off the back wall. It's going to bounce in front. Swanky puts it up in the air. Good bump. It's going to make it a 1v1. Vex has to handle it, and he does. Good defensive play being the last man back.
Really good patience from Vex. Knew what he needed to do. Did it effectively there. Almost coming through Swanky Bubbles to set himself up for a great individual effort.
Oh, that's going to be Feisig. Empty net until Vex comes in to save the day again. It remains a 2-1 lead. That is, well, they're going to call it the first save for Vex, as there should have been 2 on the board for him so far.
Psionics, please.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. We approach halftime, it's 2-1. This will be up over the halfway line. Stumpinator, act by himself, puts it in an awkward situation. That's a chance for Swanky towards the goal line. Vex with another one. They gave him a save for that one, thank goodness, as he has his second when he's 2/3 of the way to a save here.
Ooh, awkward ball up out of the corner. Vex, double, triple.
Double touch! No. Very close.
Just couldn't hit it as it crossed underneath the bar there. Did almost everything right. It looked spectacular. Just couldn't find the target.
This will be up the sidewall. Chance for Swanky to do his thing. That's up off the crossbar. Going to try to finish it. It's going to bounce out to the center for Feisig, but he can't control it. It's a 2v1 for the Foxes. And it's a stump shot. Far side. It's home. It's an empty net. We're deuces wild with 2 minutes to go.
You can see this developing here. The line Swanky takes to the ball. Doesn't give himself a lot of options to play it there. Tries to roll it into the corner, but the contact he makes just bouncing it off the backboard. Stump straight forward, able to finish that one off. 2-2 as the Foxes draw level.
Minute 53 on the clock. This will bounce off the ceiling for the kick. Foxes need an immediate clear, but it's taken in by Swanky. Feisig lurking. Vex gets it up and around him. This will be a 2v1 the other way if they can hurry it. This will be a flick off the back. Still a chance in front for Stumpinator, and he makes no mistake. It's 3-2.
3 unanswered for the Foxes now put them 96 seconds away from a first ever playoff series win, as the Spartans just cannot follow the ball effectively on that one. They turned a little bit too early, seeing that bounce hard off the backboard, and the team plays between the Foxes put them in front.
96 seconds away. This is going to be up off the nose. Spartans need a goal to try to bring this one back level. This will be off the side. They need to attack this. Keep it in. This is going to be off the ceiling. Good bump there. This might set up a chance for Swanky, but he's a little too far away from the party. Cannot get to the ball. Minute 18 to go. They're trying to even it up. They need one to do that, and then they also need to keep the ball out of their own net. Double-edged sword for the Spartans here as Vex is going to take it above his crossbar.
Oh no, almost shades of Friday night as we saw a number of own goals there. Swanky putting that one backwards towards the Spartans and not where they want the ball right now.
This is a 1v1 play. It'll bounce up and above Stumpinator. The clear away is going to go towards the side. Swanky, Feisig, and a save coming out from Vex. There's another chance. Vex has earned a Savior Medal +1, by the way. This will be up into the offensive corner for the Spartans. They need to get control and possession. Vex not letting them do so very easily, but it'll be pinched up against the side wall. Chance for Stumpinator. Stumpinator has control. Near side! So it's off the post and it's in! It's the roll they get, and it's 4-2 with 28 left.
Unfortunately, Spicy can't make contact there. You see Swanky drifting towards that boost. He's trying to be aggressive to the ball, but if you're going to come in like that, just rush in, make the challenge, make something happen. You're down a goal with 30 seconds left. Now you're down 2 as the Foxes draw ever closer to that series win.
Spartans down to their last 24 seconds of playoff contention. If they cannot get a quick couple of strikes here, this will be in front, trying to find the angle as Vex. Stumpinator is going to keep possession for his guys. They're going to try to waste as much time as possible. That's going to go towards the Fox's end. 8 seconds left. They need to waste a little bit more time. 4 seconds, 3, and the Foxes are going to move into the conference championship game. They have a date, I do believe, with the Ducks. Am I right?
You are correct. A
Yes.
4-1 victory here. They win their first ever playoff series in 3 seasons consecutive of trying to make it through. And a reward for that, they get to play the league-leading Ducks.
That is a crazy, crazy series, but the Foxes played well. Spartans also played well, but the Foxes, for their efforts, are rewarded, quotes, Kappa, with a date with the number 1 overall seed, the Ducks. Foxes, they pull the what really is an upset. Spartans had a better overall record and were the number 2 overall seed coming in.
And the Spartans actually coming out of a really tough division too as well. Winning the Storm division, no easy feat. We saw a lot of teams out of that division in the playoff hunt. I think the Comets were the only ones who were actually out of it come the final couple weeks of the season. But, you know, stick tap to them. They did the best that they could in this series. Just a couple of little breakdowns that they really could have done better and probably would have at least not gone down 3-1 and been right up against the ropes there for a Game 5 that they could have won. It just kind of slipped away from them.
Spartans, their big detriment in this series was patience. They did not have a ton of it. You notice on the goal line play, they had more than enough opportunity to slam that ball home. Feisig flies by the ball because he's rushing his decision, rushing his mechanics. On the other side, take a look defensively. They had some saves in front of them. The Foxes were able to just put right by them because they rushed the defensive touch. They had a little bit of panic mode going on. That's not something we saw from the Spartans as much during the season. It might have been playoff jitters. Maybe.
I mean, there's an argument to be made. I mean, it's one of those things that the only people who are ever going to be able to tell us are the Spartans themselves, is how they were feeling, just kind of what went through their minds. But, you know, it's neither here nor there. They've fallen. The Foxes will advance to play the Ducks for the Blue Conference title and the right to play for the MLD Championship in 2 weeks' time. But we've got to take a break here and get ourselves sorted out for the next match. It is the Dodgers and the Rhinos. Dodgers, Season 2 champions, looking for a run at a second title. We'll be back here on the ML Doubles Showdown Sunday night, the playoff edition, right after this.